Welcome back. Let's get started now on our journey through the videos that we have here for you. And as we mentioned at the beginning, we hope that you find the information interesting and informative, and more importantly, we hope that it gives you the confidence to move forward in your search for a Russian woman who will be your other half, and with whom you will be happy and enjoy the happiness that we've enjoyed, and that many of our friends are now enjoying as a consequence of being introduced. Okay, next let's look at the topics that are covered in this series of videos, so you can decide on what it is that you'd like to look at first, rather than just working your way through them. We'll look at the history of Russia over the last 90 years. I know you're probably thinking, why do we need to look at the history of Russia? The important thing about doing this is it will give you an understanding of the events that have shaped Russia over the last 90 years, and more importantly, how those events are likely to have shaped the thinking and behaviours and beliefs and values of Russian women in general that you'll be communicating with, and in particular, when you find your half, it will help you understand her reactions to various scenarios that you come across in your country. And next we'll look at the day-to-day life of a woman in Russia. Things are very different, everything from banking to finance to insurance to medical to welfare to how they live to the documents they carry, the employment they have, the remuneration they get for their employment, etc., etc. Many things are different, and we'll discuss all of those as we go through the series of videos. And I'm sure that a topic that you'll find very interesting is why all Russian women aren't the same. And it's a very easy question to answer. Because Russia has changed so much in such a short space of time, you know, every 20 years roughly, and in recent times probably every 10 or 15 years, there's been a cataclysmic change in the Russian society. So consequently, depending on the age of the woman that you're speaking to, she will have a completely different view on different aspects on life in general. Like a 50-year-old woman is going to have a completely different view than a 30-year-old woman. And you might say, oh yeah, well that's the same in the West. Well, let me put it this way. A 35-year-old woman will have a completely different view on life to a 25-year-old woman, based on the events that have happened. And we'll look at these events and discuss how they've changed and shaped the views of people. We'll also look at why Russian women want to marry a foreigner. We've seen on the news and in the media all sorts of stories, some good, some bad, about Russian women wanting to marry foreigners. We'll look at how the percentage of Russian women who are looking to marry a foreigner compares with the percentage of Western women using the internet dating. We'll look at the reason, the motivation behind why a Russian woman might want to marry a foreigner, and why she'd be prepared to make the changes that are required and are necessary for all this to happen. We'll look at why many Russian women are prepared to marry a foreign man who is older than them, and we'll look at the facts about what happens with marriages in Russia, and so on, and hopefully you'll find that interesting as well. We'll talk about the impact of the decision to move to your country, the impact on your Russian wife, what it is that she has to give up, the challenges that she'll face when she comes to your country, the challenges that you'll face if you don't manage this transition properly, and if you don't have the communication that is necessary to make it, or for you both to enjoy the happiness that we hope that you will enjoy. The move to your country is going to, as I mentioned, have a huge impact, and so you need to be prepared for that. And we'll talk about the emotional aspects of the move. We'll also talk about the practical aspects, things down to driving a car, how that's going to affect her, and how you can be ready for that, etc., etc., all sorts of things. So we'll deal with that as well. And then we'll look at some important tips, things to say, things never to say, things to do, things not to do, and so on. The site is set out in a series of videos. Please feel free to browse around, enjoy the information. I hope that it helps you find the happiness that we'd like to know that you've found. If you've got any questions, send us an email, ask us the question. We're happy to help if we can. And also let us know the good stories. We'd love to hear how the information has helped you and the lady that you're communicating with, or your Russian wife, how it's helped you and benefited your relationship. So please tell us those stories, and good luck, and we'll see you in the next video.